What makes a relationship last long term is not luck, and it is not chemistry alone. It is not the butterflies, the late night talks, the perfect date photos, or the feeling that this person somehow completes you. Those things can be beautiful, but they are not the foundation. They are the spark. And a spark can start a fire, but it cannot keep a home warm for years unless someone keeps tending to it. A lasting relationship is built on what happens after the excitement becomes familiar. It is built in the ordinary moments, in the way two people speak to each other when they are tired, in the way they handle disappointment, in the way they stay honest when the truth is uncomfortable, in the way they choose each other, not once, not when it is easy, but over and over again when life gets busy, messy, and real. A lot of people are chasing intensity, but long-term love is not sustained by intensity. It is sustained by consistency. It is easy to be loving when everything feels effortless. It is easy to be affectionate when there is no conflict, no stress, no misunderstanding. But what reveals the strength of a relationship is not how high it can make you feel. It is how safe it feels when life becomes heavy. It is whether you can trust the other person not just with your joy, but with your fears, your flaws, your vulnerability, and your truth. The relationships that last are not the ones where two perfect people found each other. They are the ones where two self-aware people decided to grow up emotionally. They learned that love is not mind reading. Love is communication. Love is saying what you need with maturity instead of expecting someone to guess. Love is listening without getting defensive. Love is being willing to say, I was wrong, and meaning it. Love is being able to hear hard things without turning every disagreement into a threat. And that matters because unresolved resentment is one of the quietest ways a relationship starts to break. Not all endings happen with one dramatic betrayal. Sometimes they happen slowly, through small disconnections that never get repaired. A sarcastic comment here, an ignored feeling there. A conversation avoided too many times. A lack of appreciation that becomes normal. People think relationships end because the love disappeared. Sometimes the love is still there. The care is still there. But the effort, the respect, and the emotional safety have been neglected for too long. That is why one of the greatest signs of a lasting relationship is emotional maturity. Can both people regulate themselves? Can they stay respectful when they disagree? Can they talk through problems without trying to punish each other? Can they take accountability instead of keeping score? Because lasting love is not just about attraction. It is about emotional skill. It is about having the discipline to protect the connection even when your pride wants to win. Another thing that makes a relationship last is admiration. Not obsession, not pedestal worship. Admiration. Real admiration means you genuinely respect the person you are with. You like who they are. You value their character. You are proud of the way they move through life. You trust their intentions. You are not secretly trying to fix them into someone more convenient for you. So many relationships fail because one or both people enter them wanting potential instead of reality. But long-term love does not thrive on fantasy. It thrives when two people see each other clearly and still choose to invest. And let's be honest, choosing well matters. People love to talk about how to keep a relationship, but they do not talk enough about how much your life changes when you choose someone who is emotionally unavailable, dishonest, inconsistent, or selfish. Longevity is not just about working hard. It is also about wisdom. It is about understanding that not every connection is meant to be maintained. A relationship lasts long-term when both people are capable of building one. You cannot create stability with someone who is committed to chaos. You cannot build intimacy with someone who avoids depth. You cannot create peace with someone who only shows up when it benefits them. That is why self-respect is part of lasting love. The healthiest relationships are not formed by two people desperately clinging to each other out of fear. They are formed by two people who know their value and are willing to love from wholeness, not desperation. When you know who you are, you stop tolerating what slowly destroys you. You stop romanticizing inconsistency. You stop calling confusion passion. You stop shrinking yourself just to keep someone interested. And from that place, you become capable of receiving a healthier kind of love, the kind that feels steady instead of unstable, clear instead of confusing, intentional instead of half-hearted. A relationship that lasts also leaves room for individuality. Love does not ask you to disappear. It should not require you to abandon your purpose, your standards, your friendships, your identity, or your growth. In fact, one of the strongest signs of long-term compatibility is that both people support each other becoming more of who they are. There is security, not control. Encouragement, not competition. Space to evolve, not pressure to stay the same. Because real love understands that people change. The goal is not to freeze each other in time. The goal is to grow in a way that keeps bringing you back to each other with honesty and intention. And then there is loyalty, not just in the obvious sense, but in the emotional sense too. Loyalty is how you speak about your partner when they are not in the room. It is the way you protect their dignity. It is the way you remain trustworthy with their heart. It is the decision to be honest before dishonesty becomes betrayal. It is being someone whose actions create peace, not suspicion. Trust is not built through grand gestures, it is built through patterns. It is built when your words and your behavior match so often that the other person can finally exhale. Long term love also needs gratitude. People with the strongest relationships do not just love each other, they notice each other. They do not let effort become invisible. They say thank you. They express affection. They acknowledge the little things. They do not assume that because someone has always been there, they no longer need to feel valued. Appreciation is one of the simplest and most powerful ways to keep love alive because what is appreciated tends to be repeated, and what is ignored tends to fade. So if you really want to know what makes a relationship last long term, it is not perfection. It is not constant excitement. It is not finding someone who never frustrates you, never challenges you, or never disappoints you. It is finding someone who is willing to build with you, repair with you, communicate with you, grow with you, and choose the health of the relationship over the comfort of ego. It is two people bringing honesty, respect, discipline, admiration, trust, gratitude, and emotional depth into the same space again and again until love becomes more than a feeling. It becomes a standard. It becomes a way of showing up. It becomes the quiet confidence of knowing that even when life changes, even when seasons shift, even when the world feels uncertain, what you have is not held together by fantasy, but by character, intention, and the kind of love that keeps proving itself in the everyday moments where real commitment lives.